Steph, good morning. I'm thinking about that 55 million. Okay, no, let's get to news. The city of Toronto hoping to cross the finish line this weekend in getting 90% of Toronto residents vaccinated. Is that possible? Joining me now is our reporter, Melissa Nicovelli, with details on the latest efforts here. Melissa, at 90%, that is a big goal.
Good morning, Mel. Yes, it's definitely a massive goal. And it's interesting that you say that because the city has had a very difficult time trying to achieve that goal so far. And now the question becomes, what will it take to get those who have not been vaccinated? And the city has been trying to tackle this for months now in an effort to do that now again. They have launched another vaccination campaign, this one called Days of Vaxation. We're live here at Shepherd West Station, one of the many locations being held today, vaccination clinics being held today here at this location. Here's more from the city.
We are at a stage in our vaccination campaign where it does take a little bit more time, hence a very hyper-local, very focused vaccination efforts, considering, where the cases are, where risks are highest, and where vaccination coverage could stand the greatest improvement.
The Days of Action will be held starting today through to Sunday, and we'll see pop-up clinics throughout the city. Some of the locations include Shepherd West Station, Warden Station, and Islington Station, among others. Officials say these locations were selected because data shows that these areas have low vaccination rates and high risk of contracting COVID-19. Now, city officials say what makes this campaign different than others that have been held in the past is the number of clinics plus the different locations. But will it be enough to attract the unvaccinated? We spoke with an expert. Have a listen.
If we continue at the rate we're going, I don't know that we'll be able to reach the 90%. We need some out-of-the-box thinking to reach the vaccine hesitant. And that means trying to understand why they're hesitant and then dealing with that head on.
I've seen vaccination rates increase since the provincial announcement of vaccine passports. As for this clinic right here at Shepherd West Station, it will be open until 8 p.m. tonight, along with the ones over at Warden and Islington as well. We'll also be hearing from Mayor John Tory coming up at 7:05 right here on BT. Back to you, Mel.
All right, that is Melissa Nicovelli reporting live for us. Thank you so much for that. Let's get to Peel Region now, where health officials are keeping an eye on a new variant that was first detected in Colombia in January.
We have identified, at least according to our Public Health Ontario laboratory partners, about 29 cases of MU. Those have been linked to some significant outbreaks within our community. But in terms of it as a variant, it still has to compete with Delta.
All right, early research suggesting the MU variant could contain mutations that may be resistant to antibodies from vaccinations. However, Dr. Lowe says Delta, as he mentioned there, still that dominant variant that is driving transmission within the community. Let's get you an update now on COVID-19 in schools across the GTA. There are currently 478 active cases among students and staff in Ontario. In the GTA, 121 cases among students and 18 staff, the TDSB with 37 cases in total, and that's an increase from 28 infections that we saw yesterday. The TCDSB has 16 cases, that's up from 12 from the day before. Peel Dufferin Catholic with 22, 13 in York Region. You can always stay with our website, citynews.ca, as well as BT here, as we continue to track these numbers through the province. Now, some GTA schools are making some adjustments ahead of Monday's federal election. There are two high schools in Mississauga, Stephen Lewis Secondary and John Fraser Secondary. They will have virtual classes only on Monday because their buildings will be used as polling stations. The Ontario Parent Action Network not happy, pointing to how long kids have been out of the classroom. The Dufferin Peel Catholic Board is moving a previously planned PA Day to Monday. About 120 public schools in Toronto will be used as polling stations, but classes will continue as normal. So today, the federal leaders will be continuing that final stretch on the campaign trail, and here's where they are going to be. Justin Trudeau going to Montreal this morning for an announcement just after the 9 o'clock hour. Conservative leader Erin O'Toole will be out east making an announcement in St. John, New Brunswick, and then attending an event in Nova Scotia. There are no major stops for Green leader Annamie Paul, as she is observing Yom Kippur today. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh will make an affordable housing announcement in Toronto, and after that, he's going to be meeting with supporters in Oshawa and then in Kingston. But before all of that, The NDP leader will be joining us live right here on Breakfast Television. That is happening at 8:30 this morning. He is the third federal party leader to join me here one-on-one this past month. The only one who has not joined us to this point has been Justin Trudeau. We hope he does make time for us tomorrow so that our viewers can hear from him. But again, stay tuned for that interview with Jagmeet Singh at 8:30. To the provincial level now, the Ontario opposition criticizing the Ford government after the province's fiscal watchdog revealed the government failed to spend funds from a new COVID-19 response program.
Honestly, it is disgraceful that Doug Ford refuses to invest the dollars necessary to help us tackle this virus, and that has been a problem all the way along. He doesn't like to spend money. He's a penny pincher, and we all pay the price as a result.
The Financial Accountability Office saying that the province did not spend any of the $2.7 billion pandemic response program in the first quarter of fiscal 2021. Now, the Ford government disputes that claim, saying, in part, the $2.7 billion referred to in the report is the allocation for the COVID-19 response transfer payment program for the entire 21-22 fiscal year. The claim that no spending occurred is not accurate. And just because it wasn't recorded at the time of the data request by the FAO doesn't mean that spending hasn't occurred. We're going to continue to watch that story for you here on Breakfast Television. Let's get to Alberta now. Big news. A dire situation is unfolding, and Premier Jason Kenney now declaring a state of emergency due to a surge of COVID-19 cases.
2 weeks ago, we presented modeling on the direction of this wave. The high-end scenario of that model projected over 300 intensive care admissions by the end of this month. But recent trends show that we are exceeding that high-end projection and that we may run out of staffed intensive care beds within the next 10 days.
Starting today, several restrictions have been reinstated, including a mandatory work-from-home order. The province also announcing it is reluctantly introducing a proof of vaccination system. All right, 6:11 is your time right now. Coming up, gas prices driving Canada's inflation to a new high. We're going to chat with Mike Eppel on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.